Thought experiment time. You have a girlfriend. She's your childhood friend, and you spent years confessing to her until she finally accepted. So far, you two seem fairly happy together. But then, out of nowhere, another girl that you don't know confesses her feelings to you. What do you do in this situation? Well, a good guy would probably just try to reject her in the most respectful, kind way that he possibly could. Douchebags would accept her feelings and date both girls in secret, essentially cheating on his girlfriend. However, the protagonist of Girlfriend, Naoya Mukai, has a different strategy. Accept the new girl's feelings, but admit this to his current girlfriend, and ask her if he can be in a relationship with both of them at once. In other words, they enter into a polyamorous relationship. I find it kind of interesting that I don't think I've ever seen a true polyamorous relationship in romance anime. It should be noted that I'm excluding the generic harem anime because they rarely end conclusively, at least as far as anime is concerned. I rarely check out the source materials of them. Sometimes there is an actual one-on-one OTP of them, and they always, without exception, have tons of fan service. And they frequently have the girls fighting over which one of them gets to fuck the protagonist, rather than just getting along in a shared relationship. If I were to hazard a guess, I'd say the reason polyamory isn't represented in anime is because anime comes from Japan, and Japan upholds very rigid traditional views when it comes to many things, including romance and sexual relationships. Obviously, that's not everybody in the modern age. I'm sure there's Japanese people, particularly younger ones, that are perfectly fine with polyamorous relationships, even if they themselves wouldn't want to be in one. But Japan respects tradition to an extreme amount, so it's often difficult for concepts like these to break into their culture, and as a result, their media. There are many things that sets Girlfriend apart. There's very little fan service. It revolves around an actual polyamorous relationship, and the two girls that are in the relationship, while having their issues, are at least trying to get along with each other and share the protagonist. Both of them want to make it work, they're just not used to this kind of relationship. All three of them are likable. The protagonist doesn't just cheat on his girlfriend, Saki when he's confessed to by another girl, Minase Nagisa, but he's too kind to turn her down, so instead, he comes up with the genius plan to try both of them at once with both of their consent. And that's where the comedy kicks in. There's three types of romantic comedy anime. Ones that focus more on comedy with romance added, ones that focus more on romance with comedy added, and then there's the rare types that try and balance these two elements perfectly down the center. Right now, Girlfriend appears to be the first type. It's mostly comedy, and the comedic moments themselves are also genius. This might be the best comedy of the year so far, although Komi hasn't come out yet. It's not often that I laugh multiple times in every single episode in a comedy anime. The premise itself is perfect to create humor, and they just take advantage of every single opportunity presented to them. I seriously had to look up the studio to see if it was David Productions, because the facial expressions that Saki and Naoya often make seriously remind me of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Maybe not quite as exaggerated or ridiculous, but close enough for me to get curious. But it's not, it's Tezuka Productions. Many of the comedic situations they're thrust into have two purposes. Being funny, obviously, but also forcing them into awkward circumstances that you might expect a young polyamorous trio to be in and have to figure out how to deal with. Such as sleeping in the same bed, for example, Saki coming on to him wanting to be the first one to take his virginity, among other things. However, the two are able to get along as well, shown whenever Minase cooks food, which Saki adores, and when the two are playing video games together, getting really competitive. The constant back and forth between them competing with each other for Naoya's affections and attention, but then getting along. It brings about a complicated relationship where they were both likely raised on the beliefs of that romance should be a selfish, one-on-one relationship. But they also love Naoya enough that they want to respect his desire to be in a relationship with both of them at once. And to be fair, I do think they find it interesting enough to pursue it. They're just not used to this kind of thing, so it'll take them a while. But yeah, even though I find the premise fascinating, there is that possibility that it won't explore the polyamorous relationship any deeper and just focus on comedy, especially considering that episode 4 introduced a new girl, Rika Hoshizaki, who, when finding out about their situation in secret, automatically declares herself as Naoya's girlfriend. Not only that, but there's another girl, Shino Kiryu, who we've already seen, and while she hasn't entered the relationship yet, she is on the cover of Volume 4 of the manga, so it's highly likely that this might just become a generic harem. But you know what? As long as the characters remain as likable and humorous as they've been, I think I'll be okay with that. Girlfriend is already more unique than most romantic comedy anime. Not only is the protagonist in a committed relationship before the series even begins, the second girl asks him out in episode 1, both of which helps us forego the been there, done that, will they, won't they cliche. And there's little fan service, and all the girls so far are likable. This means that I am truly invested in them being in the same relationship. And even if they don't, and it does end up with a one-on-one pairing by the end, which seems unlikely after four episodes of this, each of them are so likable that I would still be engrossed in the outcome. It's not often that I see an anime as unique and entertaining as this. It's good looking, it's hilarious, it's romantic, and it's interesting. It has something for just about everyone as long as you like romance comedy or romantic comedy, and it shouldn't be overlooked. And that does it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, hit the notification bell if you want to know the next time when I upload. I'm trying to get back into making videos again. Hopefully my channel can actually take off this time. And I don't know when I'll upload next, but I'll try to do it at least once a week, sometimes more often if I can. Also, make sure to leave a comment and tell me your thoughts on this video, as well as the anime in general, and I'll see you next time.